If you've been struggling in zero build tournaments, this is the video for you. We're going to take a deep dive into my mind and break down the thought process throughout this entire tournament. So take a seat and get comfy because this is a good one. Before we get going, I want to say thank you for the kind words. Sways, I appreciate you taking the time to leave a comment, and if you guys want to be featured in my next video, be sure to leave a comment down below. Now to start things off right, let's see if we can get this video to 50 likes. Alright, let's get into it. So my duo and I have been landing snooty steps, and generally the goal here is to loot up the opposite side of the medallion and then generally just play a little bit more passive, taking our loot and leaving is overall the game script. We don't necessarily stick to that though in this first game. Even the best intentions can fall apart here. So we can see as we're gliding in, there are two enemy teams here, and we loot up quickly and we try and get above the team on medallion and try and look for them and get different angles. You can see I'm playing generally aggressive here, trying to EMP them, trying to push them off of the vault area. They actually kind of sneak out and go out the side and went to these far buildings, and we're not quite sure where they went. I try and follow up my teammate by him getting different angles, and I decide to grapple across. And obviously that's not the greatest idea. They are lurking on top of the building. Thankfully, SSJ is able to get my reboot card and get me back into the game after they rotate away. Once we reboot though, they come back to the POI along with another team. So we basically just have to rat in the bottom of this little vault area. And I'm really just holding it, hoping that they don't find me. And eventually they rotate away. I start using my EMPs to get gold from the vending machine. If you guys didn't know this trick, it's a great one to know. You have to kind of space out your EMPs, but it gives you more gold. And in tournaments, you don't get any gold. So getting this is really good so I can get more heals. You can see I patch up there. Then we rotate to our cache because I still have terrible loot. I have none of the items that I'd really want. I'd want an auto shotgun, a striker. You can see I have a sniper there with 3 bullets, but it's very worth it for us to play for our cache, maybe get more sniper ammo, and really just a good refresh before we fight again. Then as we're rotating in, we see these guys off in the distance. We're looking for a refresh here. We need more ammunition, more bunkers, and I kind of call out that I see one of them in the bush. You can see I land a good body shot here, and we're just trying to kind of choke them out. I'm specifically in this position because I'm in zone, I'm in circle. I know they have to rotate to me. That's why I'm not pushing out further, even though I get the crack. In hindsight, maybe I grapple towards this guy, but generally speaking, I think holding edge is probably the right thing to do. Eventually, we get both of those eliminations, and we're able to go for their loot. Then we hear these guys creeping above us as we're holding this edge spot. We make pretty quick work of them. I don't know what these guys were really doing. Again, it's game 1, so you're going to have a wide variety of skill levels and players. All the more reason to play a little bit more aggressive if you're coming across teams like this. Then I see this guy lurking edge. I get a pretty good elimination. Again, I'm just trying to frag edge and get the eliminations as I can before the end game. I see this guy low ground. I know there's a bush here, and I think of how I can break it out. So I throw a bush at it. I know that breaks the bunker. I purposely play over aggressive here just to get damage on him. I take some bad trades, but I know my teammate SSJ can jump in and get it because we knew it was a solo. He communicates, hey, come over here. I've got all this loot, so I leave my bunker and come to him. You can see I patiently hit all of the heals. I see that there's a flopper, minis, and a big shield, so I make sure I hit them all in order. Again, don't let panic kind of overcome you in a high intensity situation. Make sure you just hit all your heals correctly. And I hit those, I grab all of my shield, and we're ready to continue into the end game here. So now I purposely open this door and try and snipe from the side because I saw those enemies to my right earlier. So I'm just trying to get body shots on different people. I don't want to overpeak where the people on the right hand side can see me easily. I land a good body shot there. We call to spray this guy out. And we're just trying to, again, kind of hold our edges zone. We're already in circle. That's why we're staying here. You can see we're getting some good beams off. Just lots of tags. Unfortunately, not converting many eliminations here, but we're at least pressuring everyone away from our side of the zone. So we can just have that much easier of a win. And I check the map here. We have 5 people up. We're just trying to watch this duo ahead of us. We know it's a duo on the hill just because they've been posted up there for a while. I'm looking for different angles, and thankfully I did because these guys then start to play aggressive on us. I see them bunker, so I bunker above them And here, they honestly don't play it super great. They just rush at us, which gives us time to pick them off one by one. We kill the one, the other one's just off grappling in the distance. And this last guy, the solo, I think is the team that originally eliminated us. SSJ is playing aggressive here, which I love out of him. And we're able to jump on them and get the win, which is pretty cool. Very good game 1, 9 elimination win. And into game 2, we decided to play a little bit more passive. We're landing outside here at the rig. And the trick to landing out here is landing for this top launch pad. You want to hit the launch pad and then nosedive down. And you can see these guys are perhaps a little bit ahead of me, but then I gain far more momentum and really outdrop them down to the main base of the rig here. SSJ comes that he's going to go out to the different towers. And then we're able to really just like push them totally off spawn. I just look for a couple of tags, don't really do much here. Start ziplining over, and SSJ decides that he's going to go jump on them. He takes his ones. He unfortunately goes down, and we go really just 1 for 1 here. Of course, hitting for like 12 with this auto shotgun. I thought he kind of played that edge. I tried and shock him off. I decided to play a little bit slower. Again, I have no shield here. I don't know what he has. He's just kind of bouncing around, going crazy. I don't think this guy even really knows where he's going. And as he zips away, I just decided, okay, I'm going to grab the reboot, and we're just going to go reboot. After rebooting him, we play this little vault area for some more loot, and I see these guys creeping up in the distance. And unfortunately, there was also another team behind me on the hill, and I go down here to the original team that was creeping. Here's a frustrating play, but it is what it is. Thankfully, SSJ is able to reboot me. Here we are rotating on later in the game. We see these guys off in the distance. I'm kind of trying to figure out how to get ahead of them and get beams. We know they have to come in because they are outside of zone. Once this starts zipping over, there's another team third partying. But trusty riot shield gets the job done here. It's the elimination. Then we're holding this building after we zip up, and I see these guys in the distance. I know that these are eliminations we can get. I don't get great tags on this guy. Thankfully, I have riot shield because I kind of stopped the auto lock on pistol. I don't think SSJ was quite ready to fight there, but we do get the 1 knock. I called it. The other guy's cracked on the hill. He gets his trade. But then there's a whole nother team lurking on the edge. That's sometimes just how it goes. And into our next game, there's nothing really exciting off spawn. We just survive. I get our cast here. I catch this solo. I honestly can't believe I didn't knock him there. He's got to have like 1 HP and get that free elimination. Then we're back in the bush and we wait for our cash here. But if you look at the mini map, you can see there are 3 different medallions, meaning 3 different teams, if not 4 medallions spaced out around here. And we decide, you know what, this isn't worth it. Let's just leave. And unfortunately, I AFK for a while. I have to go help my son. You know, that's the part of being a dad and a gamer that nobody talks about. You've got to help your kids sometimes. So SSJ is a superb teammate and helps me revive me, and we get some white heals and we're able to rotate in. After we rotate in, I notice that there's enemies to our top left. And I see perhaps some free eliminations to our right-hand side. So we kind of focus on those. We juggle our loot. We get good positioning here. But generally on this rotation, I'm going to want to play lower ground. See, I don't have any bunkers. I just have movement because I was AFK. Get a good beam on this guy. And again, we're just looking to get tags and then pick up some eliminations on these guys that really just aren't paying attention over here. And I call to stay low ground here. I know that we just want to rotate in on the beach. We crack this guy. He's a solo. We just want to go jump him. He's trying to burn all of his bunkers before he goes down. And inevitably we get him. You can see there's a ton of loot here. SSJ goes into the storm here eventually to get this, but it's just chaos as everyone's sliding up and down the hill. We pick up another elimination as these guys are coming right towards us. So we take a quick moment to reload, assess the situation, and figure out our next move. Here, SSJ says he sees more bunkers. He goes and grabs those, and I tell him just to lead into zone, which is honestly a great conversation point. I'm typically the IGL or in-game leader, and he is the fragger role. But since he saw the utility and he's holding it, we just have to make quick decisions and say, you know what, SSJ, you lead the way, get us in, and then I'll try and frag as see these enemies, and we're trying to figure out how to get up and over this hill. We both have about the same idea. We call for a shock up and a shock out play. So he shocks up, shock waves them off. He says he hits them, but unfortunately there's a whole nother team. So you can see that was one guy that I hit with the grapple on the way in. That was one team that got shocked out. I'm getting a little crazy here. I don't need to throw a bad shockwave on that other team and just piss off the whole lobby, but you know what, here we are. I'm trying to figure out where I can rat or hide, making sure I'm not getting pushed. I don't want to get caught unaware. I see visuals to my right, so I need to be a little bit more careful. I can't just run through this whole house. It's a very small zone. And SSJ actually calls, hey, you can revive me if you break out this wall. And so I go for that play. You know, it's better to play as a duo than as a solo into the end game, and I just start sticking to the res, even though zone is moving right towards us. This is a very risky play. You can see one enemy, two enemies, and honestly, we just get so lucky that I'm able to stick this here. If they would have stopped to shoot, I would have stopped the revive, but that was pretty much free 2 eliminations for them, and they don't see that. And here we're just ratting. We have no more bunkers or any way of really playing out in the open behind us. I see other teams creeping into the zone. Yeah, I see them creep on the side, throw an EMP, break his shield. We get both of those eliminations, but I go down quickly from the team above us, and so does SSJ. So into the next game, we survive off spawn. We're just kind of lurking here on edge, trying to look at the medallion teams. We want more eliminations. We haven't had many eliminations throughout this entire tournament. And even though we are kind of lurking on this edge, we somehow get caught off guard. That's honestly just like an awareness check from our perspective. But it's my communications or SSJ's. After this bunker, it's honestly not a great bunker. I'm still in zone. I should have taken the time to figure out where that was, where it needed to be. I know they're close. Get a body shot snipe on this guy. The other guy jumps SSJ, and he's able to trade and get his knock. But then he goes into the house, and there's a whole nother duo in the house. So I just start leaving immediately. They almost eliminate me. I decide to turn to the bunker. It's probably a good idea to bunker there just so I don't get tagged. And to our left, I knew I had more heals. There's some medkits, minis, bigs, everything I need. Again, I take the time to purposely hit these in order. I don't panic, even though they could be close to me. I just hit these heals and start rotating. Sure enough, after I start hitting the heals, they are right behind me. I get tagged here a little bit. They're trying to spray me out. And rather than just running off into the zone further, like in circle, I go deep back into zone and loop around. You can see Medallion on the mini map there. They're trying to chase me. They think I'm just like staying in circle. But no, I want to loop all the way back. They're off on the hill there and get my teammates reboot. Then after I reboot SSJ, we barely make it out of a 2-tick zone. We're both pretty low on whites. We're just looking to rotate in here. And, you know, in hindsight, we could have made some better plays here. You'll see what happens in a second. So we see this double bunker and we don't know what's in front of us. We just kind of jump into it and we start hitting some loot. We see footsteps above us and these guys just want to fight whoever's above us. They throw a bunker, they drop down, kind of awkwardly get into a shotgun fight here. I think I only hit that guy for like 27, which is unfortunate. His other teammate drops on us. I think it was just an awkward interaction where neither team really meant to fight, but we probably just generally play slower there. And into the next game, we want a W key as much as possible. We're kind of reaching the end of the tournament here. We need more eliminations, just in general. And with that said, Sunni's always a bit of a stalemate, so if no one really fights off spawn, we go all the way back to the pad and come back to Snooty where we know Medallion is. And here, we're looking to just use our height and drop advantage. SSJ drops on one, picks up a quick knock there, which is perfect. We kind of start looking for the rest of these guys here. We hear more footsteps, or SSJ saying he sees more footsteps. I'm asking where. They're in this building. We're kind of trying to hunt this one down. Not quite sure where he's at. And SSJ calls for a shockwave play. He's going to try and shock this guy out. He knows he's between us somewhere there. I see him in the corner. I just drop down purposely, let my teammate trade. It's a good give and go that I don't just stay there and keep shotgunning and something could go really bad and I get knocked. Hear a zip line in the background, so we know there's even another team. All the more reason for me not to take that bad trade and just continue slap fighting on that little pedestal with the solo. Get up. SSJ jumps right onto the enemy. He's just keying him at this point. Doesn't quite know where he is. That's probably a little over aggressive on his part. I hit the EMP though, so it's all good. I know this guy's low. Just jump on him and get the knock. And then I see visuals behind me. I know this guy's teammate's here, so I don't want to give him any opportunity to eliminate me. I come back later for SSJ's card and reboot him back into the game. After we reboot, we see enemies here off in the distance. We're looking to key absolutely anyone. SSJ is really good with the crash pads and flow berries, so that's perfect. We pick off one that's kind of by himself. We think these guys are probably doing about the same thing. They just want to get out of the game and get into another queue as well. But we jump on this guy. I just take a crazy trade, even though I don't really need to. I'm not sure why I'm grapple blading here, to be honest with you. I should have definitely just been shooting my SMG on the way in. I kind of give that guy the knock, but we get both eliminations. So into the last game, we're totally unconned at Snooty, which is awesome. We can get all the loot that we want. We get the Peter Griffin medallion, we get the vault, we get to loot absolutely everything for our last game and just get stacked. So we rotate pretty much all the way across the map, and here you don't hear it, but SSJ says that this bush is clear. He shoots the bush in front of me. I know which one he's talking about here. It's this little white one. And then I just start rotating. Hey, here's where we want to go. Rotating through. And then there's two guys in the bush still. So even though we shot the bush, he didn't get any registered damage or whatever it is. There's still two guys there. Super unfortunate end game. We're actually kind of in a pretty small circle already, so there's really just no way SSJ can get my card. It's sad because we don't have any eliminations at this point and really just have some placement. SSJ kind of tries to make a crazy play at the end here and get a few more eliminations, but really sad way to end the tournament. But, you know, we did pretty well overall. I was happy with our placement, and I hope this video really helps you guys understand what our thought process is, how we fight off spawn, how we look for eliminations, how we try and position. I'm going to do more of this stuff in the future. So again, please subscribe if you're not already, and we'll see you guys in the next one.